Did Forrest Fenn Hemingway himself? Well, well, well. It seems that the mysterious and enigmatic Forrest Fenn has thrown us yet another curveball from beyond the grave. The art dealer and amateur archaeologist, who famously hid a treasure chest somewhere in the Rocky Mountains, has left us all scratching our heads once again with the circumstances surrounding his own demise. Rumors have been swirling that Fenn may have taken a page out of Ernest Hemingway's playbook and ended his own life in a similar fashion. Hemingway, the legendary author, famously used a shotgun to take his own life after watching the sunrise, but it seems that Fenn may have opted for a more, shall we say, unconventional method. It's a question that has intrigued many since the enigmatic art dealer and author passed away. Hemingway shot himself with a gun he used for bird hunting, and interestingly, Forrest starts his book by telling us that he shot birds with his BB gun. He starts his book by openly talking about his father's suicide and ends the book with a banquet table at the end of life and his own epitaph. The curious case of Forrest Fenn. Forrest Fenn gained notoriety in 2010 when he announced that he had hidden a treasure chest filled with gold and precious gems somewhere in the Rocky Mountains. The clues to the treasure's whereabouts were contained in a cryptic poem, sparking a modern-day gold rush as treasure hunters from far and wide descended on the Rockies in search of the elusive prize. Fenn's death in 2020 was a surprise to most who sought out his treasure and only added to the mystique surrounding the treasure, as many wondered if his passing held any significance in the search for the chest. And now, with rumors swirling about the circumstances of his death, the intrigue has only deepened. A wise older searcher knew in 2019 when Forrest said there would be a lot of surprises next year, meaning 2020 that his death was likely one of those surprises. He had planned everything. His book told us how he was going to end his chase. A new twist, the revelation of the likelihood that Forrest Fenn ended his own life, has sent shockwaves through the treasure hunting community and beyond, with many questioning the significance of such a choice. Forrest had openly discussed his father's suicide, so it should not shock anybody when Forrest told us he would not have a problem with doing the same should he become unable to take care of himself. Forrest had problems standing and balancing over a year before he passed, but he would not be seen using a cane or crutch and appear weak. Some have speculated that Forrest's decision to use a .22 bullet may have been a deliberate nod to the treasure hunt itself, as the poem contained hints referring to Blaze, Tarry Scant, and Canyon Down. He was also born on the 22nd of August and decided to depart this world a couple weeks after his 90th birthday on National Grandma Moses Day. Could the specific choice of firearm and caliber hold clues to the treasure's location? Or is this simply a case of overactive imaginations running wild? His final statement read at his final party at West Yellowstone Forest: "Best revenge is putting the hose on Skippy's car. Ha ha ha, the car is wet." Each chapter of his book ends with a bullet point, a clever play on words considering the theme of the book. He even mentions being nothing but an asterisk in a book, a powerful symbol of an important or urgent bullet point. The symbolism surrounding bullets in Forrest's life is hard to miss. Forrest's car, which he called the Bullet, disappeared after he left it with Peggy. This mysterious disappearance adds another layer of intrigue to the story, leaving readers questioning what really happened to the car and whether it holds any significance in the larger narrative. The 1930 Ford Model A cowl found by Bill Gorman in a meadow shaped like a lowercase d, in the middle of the straight runway part of the D of the meadows, which spell the word wood, as this related to his F-100 with a bullet through the fuel tank that made him crash his plane in the middle of the runway. Like the Super Sabre, the back half of the car was also torn off and had a bullet through the fuel tank. There is no Kevin Bacon 6 degrees of separation here. This is what's called synchronicity. It's no coincidence. On top of that, the couch cushion Forrest was sitting on in the back of the car was a couple hundred feet in front of the car by the creek. All that was left was the springs. It's no joke. The bullet car was really in the wood at Tucker Ponds, known in the poem as tired and weak or tuckered. If people did as Forrest said, and listen good, they would know what this means. He had to be brave to put a rope on that buffalo, They got cold and wet and had to walk home 4 miles barefoot. Like Moses being barefoot signifies it was holy ground, which is another Moses hint. Then he says he did not realize how much fun it was until later. So the car was in the creek. He knew it was wet, and it was worth the cold. Throughout his life, Forrest seemed to dodge a lot of bullets, both figuratively and literally. Many of his stories were of people killed by bullets like JFK, RFK, Sitting Bull, Ernest Hemingway, Armand Hammer, Eastman of Eastman Kodak, Meriwether Lewis, and others, adding another layer of complexity to the question of whether Forrest Fenn actually Hemingwayed himself. The Santa Fe Police Department has a photo that says he did. A month later, on Charlton Heston's birthday, Peggy passed. Charlton Heston, or C. Heston, or Cheston, played Moses in The Big Picture for Cecile B. DeMille. He was also the president of the NRA, famous for his "For My Cold Dead Hands" speech, as Forrest told us he was taking it with him in death. Charlton Heston also was the leader of the NRA Silver Bullet Brigade, and his silver bullets were given to members. This is how we combine cars, bullets, and Moses in a synchronistic fashion. As readers delve into the details of Forrest Fenn's life, or as he called it, his chase, they are left pondering the significance of bullets, both metaphorically as well as literally, and how they may have played a role in his final moments. Forrest Fenn's final statement before he died, he confirmed the car was the treasure by confirming the real treasure was wet. Fortunately, Skippy's car was parked nearby, so I went over and squirted it really good. That's how I got back at Alert Koski. I felt smug because he just didn't fully know who he was dealing with. Sometimes I just feel diabolical. F. And that's how Bill gets back at Matt Demoski and Justin Posey. A witty conclusion, as with all things related to Forrest Fenn and the treasure hunt, the truth may never be fully known. Perhaps Fenn's passing was simply a tragic end to a remarkable life. Or perhaps there is more to the story than meets the eye. In any case, one thing is for certain. The legend of Forrest Fenn and his treasure will continue to captivate the imagination of adventurers and armchair sleuths for years to come. Whether there are hidden meanings in the manner of his passing, or if it's all just a wild goose chase, one thing is clear. The hunt for the truth is far from over.